3. It is, again, a very unusual high school formation. But they are back into it.
All right, they're out in the double slot.
Left sideline, Fredericks has it, and he steps out of bounds.
That was the exact opposite of what they had done before. They ran Fredericks to the inside and Soltz to the outside. That time, Soltz went down the field and cleared out, and they took Fredericks and turned him out onto the sideline. 9-yard completion and killed the clock.
This is a very smart football team.
Well, smart is one thing, but to be able to execute the way they're doing is another. This is one heck of a football team.
We wanted to know the stats of Scott Sandler before. 177 yards. Saltz busts through the middle, and we've got a flag on the near sideline.
I think we've got a procedure call against Randolph.
Sandler has thrown for 3 touchdown passes already. A 4-yarder to Dave Cardinal, a 6-yarder to Kevin Saltz, and then a 56-yarder to Kevin Saltz.
It was a procedure call against Randolph.
And instead of 2nd and 1, we'll have 2nd and 6. Very few penalties in today's game. Only 3 for the Rams, totaling 25 yards, but 2 against Linden for only 7 yards.
I would guess to watch Saltz out of the backfield here. They're in a double slot. There he is. He released to the middle.
Sandler being forced out of the pocket, and he will be sacked by Robert Willis, and our clock has expired, and that is the end of the first half of play, and Linden trails the Randolph Rams 22-0, and they'll have to do a lot of regrouping in the halftime locker room. At halftime, please stay with us. You will be seeing one of the finest bands in the state of New Jersey, the Linden High School Marching Band. Please stay with us for that. We'll be right back.
Seconds. Because of the poor field conditions, of course, the Linden High School Marching Band decided not to take to the field today. So instead, Bill and I decided to come down to the field and talk to you a little bit about the first half of action. And Bill, I think we just have to admit to complete surprise, first of all, that the score is 22-0, but secondly, because Randolph has done so much in the air.
It's absolutely unbelievable. We were worrying about the game conditions, and I would say that they probably improved maybe 75%. But the key is whether it's the effectiveness of Randolph's offense or the effectiveness of their defense. Linden hasn't been able to do much. The Randolph offense has moved the ball up and down the field at will. And, you know, they've thrown 12 for 16 for 177 yards, and that's an unbelievable statistic.
Let me try and give you some numbers to back up the point that Bill is just trying to make right here. First downs on the day, Randolph 11, Linden just 2. Yards rushing, Randolph only 45, Linden 37. Passing yardage 167 for Randolph. Of course, they lost 10 on a sack and none for Linden. Total yardage 212 to 37. Only 1 turnover on the day. That was the interception that Linden threw. Unbelievable why Randolph came out in the air. Obviously, they saw something that they could exploit, and Randolph has just come out passing, and they have come out passing effectively. What are they doing, especially when they send 3 men to one side?
Well, what they're doing, Paul, is they're using a double slot to the right side. By a double slot, I mean 2 receivers inside a split end. They're taking the end, curling them to the inside, and the 2 inside people out, and they're using a combination. Then they're putting the second man out in the flat and the first man, the out widest man on a curl in, and then they're bringing the 2 wide people in on a curl and sending the inside man out in the flat, and it's a tremendous amount of pressure on the outside receivers of Linden. They've got to make some kind of an adjustment to get either an extra person out there, but then when they do, Saltz breaks them up the middle, and Randolph has just been executing tremendously well. It's It's a very frustrating thing for Linden. Offensively, I think what Linden has to do is the linebacker core of Randolph are ganged inside, and their two inside tackles are keeping the offensive blockers off the linebackers, and the linebackers are making the play. Linden, I think, will probably come out and do some kind of motion away from the formation to draw the linebackers out to the outside, and then Taylor or Mack might be able to break something inside.
All right, we'll have to see what Linden can do to counteract this Randolph team that has just controlled the ball from beginning to end. We'll be back with a few more stats from upstairs in just a moment as the second half of this state championship football game from Cooper Field in Linden continues. All right, very good. There you go. And second.
And once again, welcome back to Cooper Field. I'm Paul Spahala. With me, Bill Gaddis. We have some more numbers to show you through the first half. And if you're from Linden, you may not want to see them because, unfortunately, they do all favor Randolph. Running has not been a prime emphasis in today's game. Taylor and Mack, both from Linden. Taylor with 7 carries for 21 yards, Mack 5 for 14. Salt's 11 carries already for Randolph, but only for 39 yards. It's been in the air that most of the damage has been done. Sandler for Randolph, 13 of 17 for 167 yards. Saliga is 0 for 3 on the afternoon. And the men who have hauled in those passes for Randolph, Fredericks, 5 for 54 for a 10-yard plus average, and Salt's 4 for 80 for an exact 20-yard average. Bill, one number I was doodling with up here in the booth, time of possession. Randolph, 15:02, Linden, 8:58. Now, we know Linden, to score, at least based on the game we saw against Westfield, is a ground control team. My question, is there enough time, 24 minutes, for Linden to score 3 times the way they like to score?
No, I don't think there's any question about it. Linden has people in the backfield have the capacity to break it from anywhere on the field, so conceivably one score could come in a period of 15 seconds, and I think that's what they have to look for. I think we're going to find a nice ball game in the second half. Linden will make adjustments, and I think what they're going to do is spread Randolph a little bit and try and break Taylor.
Now, Linden will again be kicking off, the reason being Linden won the toss to start the game and elected to kick. So, of course, the second half choice goes to Randolph, and they have chosen to receive. So the Tigers will again be kicking off. Randolph receiving. Saltz is back deep along with Mike Shaw. Craig Taylor will do the kicking. And very quickly in this second half, we will see what was talked about in the Linden locker room to try to circumvent the big passing of the Randolph offense. Taylor starts it off with another deep kick that Shaw will field on the 4. This is Mike Shaw going to the far side of the field, still on his feet. He will cross the 20-yard line, and that is where Randolph will start from. And again, the very first thing we will want to look for is when Randolph comes out in that spread formation, what will Linden do as a defense? Calling signals for Randolph. Only his 5th start in the varsity. Scott Sandler, 3 touchdown tosses, 13 for 17, 167 yards. Not bad for his 5th game. The blitz is on, and Sandler's got to run. He is going to be forced and dropped by Keith Ingram. Ingram records the sack for Keith Ingram. That is 11th sack of the season.
He played that very well. He started to drop off into his coverage and then realized Sandler was running, went back outside and turned him in. Here's the replay. Sandler looks to throw. Everything was shut off. Here's Ingram coming in from the outside and makes a nice tackle. It's a loss of about 10 yards, 2nd down and 20.
And very quickly, they showed us the defense they're going to try to employ, a blitz. And this time, nothing to the right side. Darren Blakeney wraps up his man.
Now, it's a good defensive strategy on the part of Linden. They loosened up enough to take away the throw, and yet were strong enough to come back in and seal when they handed the ball off to Schultz.
You know, if Linden can hold here on 3rd and long, it may not have been too bad that they had a kickoff to start the second half.
Well, this is what they hoped for in the first half. Unfortunately, things didn't work out the way they wanted them to.
And it was because of the big completion on 3rd and long. Let's see what Randolph can do. 3rd and 16. The blitz is on. Sandler is down. Sandler records his own sack by slipping in the mud. And it will be punting time for the Rams, and assuming no mistakes, Linden will get great field position.
Well, you remember I said one of the things why Randolph was so effective is that they couldn't get any pressure on the passer, and here twice in the first series of downs in the second half, they threw him for substantial losses.
Jenkins and Taylor back to receive the punt of Saltz. Saltz gets away a good one. There is running room. Taylor will take it at the 35, and he'll take it inside the 30, down to about the 27-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 on the Randolph 28-yard line.
Right in here. Go right out.
We sportscasters get accused of overplaying a lot of things, but I would say Linden's got a score on this possession.
Well, I would agree. It's a critical possession. They're getting the ball in the 4-down zone, which gives them latitude to do a lot of things that they normally wouldn't be able to do right off the hop.
The give is to Taylor. He finds good yardage. Mostly on his own, however. There were 4 or 5 Rams who had a shot at him that missed him.
But what happened there was good offensive surge on the part of the Linden line, and they, without even throwing good blocks, they were in a position to screen defenders, and Taylor, being the back that he is, was able to pick up the 5 yards. That was the best offensive surge I've seen the whole ball game in that Linden offensive line.
Second down. Saliga calling signals. Gives to Taylor. Taylor is hit by Ray Johnson. But Taylor will have at least 3, possibly 4 yards.
So it'll be 3rd and a yard and a half.
Give Taylor credit for 3 yards on the play. Ray Johnson, one of the co-captains for the Rams. Offensive center, defensive end.
Got to watch for a delay of game here.
It's getting close, but Saliga gets it off in time, gives to John Mack. And Mack appears to have enough for the first down. We may get a measurement, and we will, although it does not appear to be necessary at all.
Well, that was a question of the mark. I thought the ball was up a little further than it appears on the field.
Important first down, if it is that. Easily, by more than the length of the football, it is a Tiger first down. Now the home side's getting into the game. Saliga pitches it back to Taylor. Taylor is inside the 15, down to about the 12. Sheridan and Smith are his guards, and they do a lot of blocking.
A little counter option. Saliga step to the left. Let's watch it on the replay. Saliga comes out, looks to the left, comes back along the line of scrimmage, tosses back to Taylor. Taylor breaks 1 tackle, 2, and picks up 4 or 5 yards.
He got 5. It is 2nd and 5. Jenkins, the wingback. The slot goes to West to give to Taylor. Not much, as he is hit and dropped by Stingone.
Stingone read that very well. He just stayed, waited, reacted, and then come across the seam and made the tackle.
Stingone looks like he's hurting from that hit. Might have caught the helmet right on the hand.
This is going to be a key play for Linden. They've got to get down within a yard.
3rd and 4. Fake to Taylor. Saliga rolling left. He'll go in the air. It is tipped away and it falls incomplete.
Gogarty was there defending, as was Kevin Saltz.
Saliga rolled all the way around to the left. Taylor came around and faked to the right side. Everybody left him alone, and he was sitting out there in the flat.
They've got to go. 3 points buys you nothing at this point. Fourth down. West to the right. Jenkins in the slot. Mack and Taylor, the backfield. Fake to Mack. Pitch to Taylor. Taylor is inside the 10, and again, placement is everything. But I do not think he made it. Nope, they're not even going to measure. Taylor will end up to be about a yard short, and Randolph will take over on their own 10-yard line.
Well, now time could be a factor. If Linden had pushed the ball in that time and gone for 2 and made it, we've got a 22-8 ball game.
Officials timeout. Injured player for Randolph, and that appears to be Johnson. And that's who it is, Ray Johnson, limping off the field, and there will be a substitution. And it will be Rick Evans. Again, we welcome you to Cooper Field for the state championship game between the Rams of Randolph and the Tigers of Linden. Fumble! Possibly recovered again by the Rams, and it was second down.
Well, that could be the fact that the Johnson, the center, was out. They do have another center in there. I don't know whether the fumble occurred on the snap or on an attempt to get the handoff.
A little run to the right side for Saltz. He may have picked up the yardage they lost on the fumble.
You know, interesting now, too, Paul, the fact that their center is injured, Johnson, and they got a substitute center in, that may limit their ability to go into the shotgun, which has been their most effective weapon.
Very good point. We'll have to see on 3rd and 11 whether John Bauer will call the shot. They do not line up.
He's back up over the center.
Sandler, straight drop going into the flat. He's got Fredericks. No, incomplete. Fredericks could not hold on. It would have been short of a first down. Derek Jackson on the coverage. And again, Randolph will have to give it away on a punt. And Randolph only used a minute and a half on that particular possession. Not effective for them in either yardage or time. Saltz back to punt.
Also a little bit of strategy. Last time they had Taylor on the left side. Now they switched him over to the right because the punt. Oh,
high
nice
snap.
by Saltz.
Ooh, Saltz had to make his play. Taylor fields it at the 34. Makes a few moves. Fumble, but recovered by Linden. Recovered by Linden at the 20-yard line. The man on the spot, Robert Willis, number 91, just a freshman. And what a big play he came up with that time. Watch the ball pop out of Taylor's hands.
All right, watch the catch that Saltz made on a bad snap. One-handed snag of the ball, gets the ball away. Taylor makes the catch, starts up to the left side. Good coverage by Randolph. Trying to fight for extra yardage. The ball coughs up. Linden recovered.
From the 20. This is Keith Ingram. Ingram will be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 2. Stingone, John Clark, among others, making the hit.
Ball now at the 23. 2nd and 13.
Well, let's see. Johnson's been injured. He's got Clark in at end. Let's see if Linden attacks the spot where they have the...
They are rolling left. Saliga looking for a receiver. It was blocked away and almost interception by Stingone. What a defensive effort.
That was a good call. That play was open. Had Saliga been able to release the ball a little quicker. But the longer he strung it out, the more chance that Randolph had to come up and get into the defensive play.
Watch Stingone on the replay.
Here's Saliga rolling out to the left. He appears that everybody's covered. He strings it out too long and allows Stingone a chance to get inside.
He came real close to picking that one off. 3rd and 13. West split right. Jenkins in the slot. Good protection. He tosses it up in the middle, and it will be almost picked off by Gogarty. Gogarty had a real good shot at it, but it just slipped away from his hands. And from the 23, it appears as if Linden will stay with it on 4th and 13.
800 trap option pass right. No! 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 Right!
Remember that Linden does have the ability to go to Taylor as a thrower. He has thrown 5 passes this year.
1 forward touchdown.
Maybe that's in the bag.
This looks, I think it'll fake inside and run it.
Instead, they go over the middle and is intercepted. Intercepted by Sandler, and he is going to be dropped at the 19-yard line.
Talk about a game of inches. If that ball were there a split second sooner, or the receiver were able to reach back a split second sooner, that would have been completed to West.
For Sandler, his 2nd interception. Watch it again.
Here comes Saliga back. Half a roll to the right. Fakes to the right. Comes back to West. West thought he had it, and Sandler got in front of him just at the last minute. Ran the ball back out to the 20-yard line.
And again, the 2nd interception of the day for Scott Sandler, and he now assumes his quarterback duties. Pitch back to Gogarty. Gogarty is going to be forced outside. Good pursuit by Sheridan, by Brian West. And the man at the bottom is Keith Ingram.
Ingram and Weston on the stop. Loss of 2 on the play to bring up 2nd and 12.
Randolph operating now at their own 18. Loss of 2 on the play. Linden defense 100% improved over the first half.
All right, again, it's 2nd and 11. They're still not out of the shotgun.
The rush is on, and Ingram will record his 12th sack of the year, his 2nd of the day.
Ingram on a sack for the Tigers. Also in on a play, number 91, Rob Willis.
Loss of 7.
Totally evident.
On a play, it's 3rd and 19, Randolph.
How without the... Oh, let's have the replay first. Here goes Sandler back. He's looking to throw. Ingram comes in. Nobody touches him. Makes a grab and throws him for a loss. 3rd down and about 19. What I started to say, what's amazing with Johnson out, how Randolph is not gone to the shotgun. That's how critical that center position is.
3rd and 19. They give it to Saltz. He will make nothing, as Mike Rembish will wrap him up and drop him. Rembish is only a sophomore. He's a blocking specialist. Number 71 has already blocked 2 punts and 1 field goal. He'll have a chance to block a punt here because Randolph will again give it away.
Remember also, last time Saltz had to go up in the air and make a one-hand stab of the snap from center.
Linden needs the big break here. And they may have gotten it. Well, they got 2 points out of it. And they will get the ball back. But, Bill, you have certainly exploited the weak link in this Randolph team.
Well, either weak link or strong link. You know, Johnson has got to be that strong man because it's not the same Randolph offense with him not in the ball game. That might have been the best thing could have happened for Randolph, as Linden got 2 possessions, 1 on the 25, 1 on the 27, and still were not able to score. They would have gotten the ball inside the 40 on this time. Now with a kickoff or a punt, Linden probably won't get the ball at their own 40-yard line. So that strategically could have been a good move.
But, Bill, let's think way down the road, because now with the 2 points, Linden does not have to go for a 2-point conversion. If